In the shadowy depths of an ancient Japanese forest, there lived a cunning fox. This was no ordinary creature. This fox was a kitsune, a shapeshifter with an otherworldly charm, and it had a taste for human flesh. However, when livestock began disappearing from their farms, they started to get worried. Suddenly, a fox darted across her path and vanished into the trees. Hannah, being the curious type, followed. She soon came across a clearing, and there in the center stood a magnificent white fox. Using his supernatural powers, he created an illusion, a mirage of sorts, that tricked Hannah into thinking she had entered a beautiful garden filled with delicious food and intoxicating sake. It was a trap. Its fur was as pure as snow, its eyes like shimmering emeralds, but something about its gaze seemed strangely familiar. And on the 10th day, she would go to the river and wash her face. The kitsune, horrified at what he had done, fled into the forest and was never seen again. The kitsune, seeing this, would become enraged. How dare she defy him? Could these elusive creatures really exist? And if so, how could they protect themselves? The villagers nearby had heard tales of these mystical foxes, but they chose to ignore them, believing the stories were nothing but myths. Because sometimes, just sometimes, it takes more than brains to defeat a fox. All you need is a little bit of blood. One evening, a young woman named Hannah found herself strolling through the forest. Then, in a flash of light, he transformed into a handsome young man. He introduced himself as Tamamo Nome, a kitsune who had taken on a human form. But his charm was deceptive, for he was a trickster spirit, and he had been watching Hannah for weeks. As Hannah watched, the fox began to glow. He had taken on many forms, both human and animal, to deceive the villagers, and now he had set his sights on Hannah. For 9 days, he kept her there, feasting on her life force until she became nothing more than a withered husk. On the 10th day, he took her back to the village, dropped her off, and returned to his forest home. And as Hannah stepped into the illusion, she became the kitsune's prisoner. There, he used his powers to bring Hannah back to life, only to do it all over again. Day after day, he would take her to the village, drain her of her life force, then return her to the forest. But Hannah wasn't giving up. While the kitsune was away, she would gather her strength. But as the story goes, on the 10th day, when Hannah washed her face in the river, the water turned to blood. From then on, the villagers were able to live in peace, but they never forgot the tale of the kitsune and the girl who outsmarted it.